Hello, welcome to Sacred Empowerment Summit. I'm your host, Crystal Kinnanen. I'm so excited about this. I'm so lit up. I had no idea that collaborating with other women and coordinating, bringing them together to share with you would just light up my heart the way that it is. And it is such an honor to introduce Mara Watts to you. She is an Asheville-based mamapreneur with Motherhood on Purpose. She helps mothers all over the globe fall in love with themselves and discover balance, self-identity, sense of purpose. Her passions include business and social media strategies, as well as reading, playing the piano, dancing, centering herself on the yoga mat with her 2.5-year-old daughter. So Mara is here today. I chose her to speak about the topic on grace because my experience with you, Mara, has been you just embody grace. You've been such a huge help with me as a mother trying to get on purpose. I'm so grateful for you. And you've just held this like grounded, centered, graceful presence for me that has helped me feel more calm and centered. So I would love to ask you some questions on grace. So what comes to mind? What does grace mean to you?
Mm. Well, first, I'd like to thank you for that intro. Oh my gosh, you have touched my heart.
Mm,
And really, when I think of grace, I think of the women in my life, like you, like our friend Shannon. These women who are doing such amazing things in the world, but they're also, embodying and um, becoming such earth shakers
mhm,
in such a beautiful way. You know what I mean? It's like,
mhm.
it's so big. It's like you're doing big things, but
While
you're doing
raising
it
children.
while navigating children. Oh my gosh. I know. I was just like, okay, Adam, my husband, can you take the kids for a few minutes? But yeah, it's grace for me. It, a lot of what comes to mind for me is my mother. My
Mm,
mother, um, I don't know if you know, I was adopted,
no,
and
yeah.
um, and sh- and the story of my mother not being able to become pregnant, um, and her journey through adoption, with myself and my younger sister, and how she so gracefully held this space for us as children,
Mm,
just showed up in my life in such a huge way, because it's like that became who I am today. I feel like a
mm,
lot of what I was born into, granted I was carried by another woman, my mother entered this world of motherhood so gracefully,
mm,
even though it was hard for her to not be able to bear children. So I
mhm,
feel like that was instilled into me. Does that make
mm.
sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What
that's
a
a
gift for someone to
mm,
choose to love
mm,
you.
yeah, and I feel so loved. I feel so loved by her, by the women in my life, the
Mm.
also the men in my life, which there's only one.
Mhm.
I mean, my husband, but there's other men. Um, but yeah, like grace shows up in so many ways in my life,
Mhm.
and it shows up through my children. It shows up through my work and the work that I do with women, and the collaboration of women and men that are a part of that journey as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, and it all began, I feel like it all began when I came into existence
Yeah, with
from that.
your mom.
Mhm,
Oh, that's so
mhm,
beautiful. How fortunate.
mm. Thank
You
you.
definitely embody and carry that in your presence and the work that
Mm,
you do with women
thank
and the work
you.
we've done together. And um,
Appreciate that.
so, how would you recommend someone who maybe didn't come from a mother who taught them about grace? How could
Mm,
they cultivate that in their life, in their business?
mm.
And, um,
Yeah. One way, one tip I guess that I would get would probably be to let go of anything that does not serve you. That's actually been a journey that I have been on the past couple of years, is letting go of and holding on to people, instances, events, expectations, just holding on to these different things that are not serving me whatsoever.
Mhm.
And that showed up in my previous business called Get Out Mama, which you know about.
Mhm.
And I was holding on to that. I was holding on to postpartum depression and anxiety. I didn't realize I was doing that.
Mm.
And when I decided to let that go, this new chapter in my life opened up, and it's like, oh, and here comes grace, here comes love, here comes acceptance, here comes all of this stuff, and it just started raining in.
Mm.
And yeah, so I think letting go of expectations within yourself and outside of yourself,
Mhm.
because I love the saying, um, all you can do is all you can do, but all you can do is enough,
Mm.
totally enough.
Mhm.
And and that has stuck with me my entire life, because it's like, you know what? Um, Today, especially as moms, and I'm sure you get this,
Mhm.
as moms, being able, yes, to prioritize the tasks that need to get done, the things that need to get done, but everything else, let it go.
Right.
If it doesn't have to get done today, whatever that is, laundry, a big project, a huge summit,
Right.
all this stuff. But knowing that these little steps are going to get us there, and instilling grace as you walk, and being able to be graceful in the way that you walk and the way that you show up in the world. And um, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank
Yeah. Yeah. I totally relate to that. Yesterday I have a women's group I've been a part of, and I love them. They're like some of the most amazing women I've ever met, and it's been such an honor to be with them. But I had to come to the realization that even though they're amazing and wonderful, it was no longer serving me, and I had to let it go. And it was a really hard
you.
decision let to say this is a commitment that isn't serving me anymore, but it doesn't mean I don't love you all. And I
Right.
did it in our circle, and it touched all of their hearts to see me honoring myself in that way,
Mm,
and gracefully letting
right.
go, knowing that the connections are still there. We'll still have
Mm,
friendship, and it could come back around later. And that was a huge, huge
yeah.
lesson for me yesterday. Like, it's not I'm not going to hurt anybody's feelings if I like
Right.
honor myself. And
Yeah. And I love that you say that, honoring yourself,
hmm
being able to say, you know what? This isn't for me. And for so many years, personally, so many years, I took so much time worrying about what others thought about me
hmm
and how the world perceived me as successful or as a good mom or whatever. And when it came to, you know what? I'm just going to be me, and I'm just going to live me, and I'm going to do me.
hmm
And that opened up this huge door. And I
hmm
was able to just walk through it. And it was like, here's Mara,
yeah.
you know?
Aw.
And the confidence that came with that, has been almost overwhelming to me. It's like, oh, it's not an error, but it's like, oh, I'm able to carry myself in a way that graceful. And I'm able to honor myself and honor those who come into my life,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
be a little angel for people.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're so sweet.
Yes, you've been such a dear, bright, light, angelic
Mm,
presence, very
thank
graceful
you.
presence in my life. So I'm
Thank
very grateful
you.
for you, and I'm so excited to share you with other
Yay.
people, and to
Yeah.
get the word out about the Mama on Purpose, Motherhood on
Mm,
Purpose.
yeah.
Well, can you share how can people reach you?
Yeah. So recently I've transitioned to this new email and everything. So everything's new for me. But you can reach me on Facebook. My Facebook name is Mara Watts. And my Facebook page will transition to Mara and Megan.
Mm,
Um, and which Megan is my partner and my business partner. And then on Instagram at _ Mara Watts. I'm also on Twitter as _ Mara Watts. And then my email is Mara at motherhoodonpurpose.com. And my website is motherhoodonpurpose.com as well.
mm,
Yeah.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else you'd like to share before we close?
Yeah.
about your summit that's coming up? Or
I do have a summit that's coming up. It is Motherhood on Balance, the 8-day Motherhood on Balance Summit, and it's completely free for moms. And the idea actually came to me when I was laying in stillness, and maybe this could be considered grace in a way, um, because I had the flu at the time, and I was forced to stay in my bed. I was forced to, um, my body was saying, be still, and honor that you need to heal.
mm,
And so I wasn't playing with my children. I wasn't cooking dinner. I wasn't doing all of these things that was expected of me, right? And I had to let that go. And in that stillness was born the summit. So the summit is 8 days of these amazing women, these amazing mothers, including Crystal,
oh,
who are sharing how they balance work and life and children and motherhood and self identity, and all of these different moving pieces as moms that we have. And um, so I'm really excited about that. That will be available May 1st. So you can sign up on the website at motherhoodonpurpose.com.
okay. All right. Thank you, Mara.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me share. I so appreciate you.
Yeah.